Before we get into this video, I just want to thank you guys for the reception of the last video that I posted. I know it's not a lot to some of you guys, but it really does mean the world to me. It's my best performing video thus far, so hopefully, if I may ask, you guys can keep liking, subbing, sharing, because it really does, like I said, mean the world to me. Let's get right into the video. Thank you. So obviously, if you can't read the title of the video, we're going to be talking about Andrew Wiggins today. So, in 2013, Andrew Wiggins was considered one of the next big things in the NBA sort of basketball universe. His Hoop mixtape on YouTube, one of the best that I've seen, by the way. Tons and tons of views on that. It's probably the best to ever, or one of the best to ever touch YouTube. The 6'7" small forward would draw comparisons to LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and even garnered the nickname of Maple Jordan. He was the #1 high school prospect in the nation in 2013, and that would lead him to being the #1 pick in the 2014 NBA draft after his single season at Kansas. He would obviously be drafted #1 overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Soon thereafter, he would be traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves in a deal that landed the Cavs' Kevin Love. In his rookie season, Andrew Wiggins would go on to win Rookie of the Year, but unfortunately for him, that would be the heights of his accomplishments in Minnesota. There were about 4 seasons. Multiple people, myself included, kind of wrote Wiggins off. His numbers were pretty solid, averaging 19.7 points per game, 4.1 rebounds per game. Shooting only 45% from the field and only 33% from 3 was a bit concerning. Though his counting stats were good, his main critiques were the fact that he really wasn't developing as a player much. He was wildly inconsistent through games. Additionally, he was pretty ball dominant. He kind of needed the ball to be effective on the offense. He was never really a good playmaker, and though he was dubbed an elite athlete, he could never really translate that towards the defensive side of the ball, where you'd expect him to. Minnesota, in itself, never really improved while Wiggins was on the roster. They made the playoffs in one season with Wiggins on the roster, and that's because they traded for Jimmy Butler. Coming towards the 2019-2020 NBA season, it kind of seemed like both parties needed a fresh start, and at the trade deadline, that's exactly what happened. Minnesota traded Wiggins to Golden State, and in my opinion, it's probably the best thing that's happened to him in his professional career so far. It seems like so far Golden State is exactly what he needed, and additionally, it kind of feels like when he was traded, everyone sort of accepted the fact that Wiggins wouldn't be exceeding these lofty expectations that we were giving him when he was a senior in high school, freshman in college, #1 overall pick. He'd never really be the Kobe Bryant, the LeBron James, wouldn't be that transcendent of an athlete. But, he's still a pretty good NBA player, and obviously in Golden State, they did a pretty good job of developing him to be what he is today in this current day and age. In Golden State, he was pretty much given a clean slate. He really wasn't asked to be the first or second scoring option. Obviously, that would have been Steph or Clay. Never was expected to be a ball handler or a playmaker. It would have been obviously Steph or Draymond. Or he isn't really asked to create shots. He's just asked to kind of shoot when open, hustle on the floor, and defend. Nowadays, Wiggins is playing a very, very key role into the success of the Warriors this season. Since coming to Golden State, he's become a very efficient scorer, as well as actually being a plus defender. This season, Wiggins is scoring 18.6 points per game on 49% from the field, 37% from 3, and the Warriors are kind of treating Wiggins like Harrison Barnes from their 2015 championship run. Barnes was like the third scoring option in 2015. In addition to that, he was guarding the first or second player on the opposing team on the other end of the floor, and that's pretty much what Wiggins is doing. Like I said, he's not asked to shot create, he's just asked to pretty much defend and hit open shots, and that's exactly what he's doing. Wiggins is playing kind of like Barnes was. I'd say probably a little bit better if you ask me, but he's obviously one of the reasons that the Warriors are 18-3 this season and have the second best record, I'm pretty sure, in the league at this point. Another thing, I don't think a lot of people realize that Andrew Wiggins is only 26 years old. He hasn't even reached his prime yet. He's only 26. I was genuinely surprised when I read that when I was researching for this video. Only 26. He's got a bunch of good basketball ahead of him, barring some freak injury or something. But hopefully he can use his newfound defense and his newfound efficiency and continue to thrive, whether that be in Golden State for the rest of his career or if he moves on to another team after his contract runs out. He's going to be a good player for years to come, and I'm glad that we've kind of shaken this huge stigma of him being kind of like a bust. I wasn't the biggest fan of him personally, but it's very easy to root for him now. And a lot of that does have to do with the lack of expectations, the lack of lofty expectations that he has, because he's going in every night, he's doing his role, and he's doing it pretty damn good if you ask me. Wiggins, who was once obviously a pretty transcendent athlete, who people like to call a bust, obviously now he's a pretty above average basketball player if you ask me, and he's just filling his role. His team could probably, potentially, win a ring because of it, and a large part of that is due to Andrew Wiggins reinventing himself. So yeah, that's the video. Hopefully you guys do the normal YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, share. Like I said at the beginning, it really does mean the world to me. Hopefully we can kind of get something going here. Other than that, peace.